Ora Haribo. Haribo. Nitagora Haribo. 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 Nitagora Haribo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Oh, Haribo. Oh, all right. Just so you know, this is my third class now, and I still get a bit nervous, as you may tell. But yeah, the one thing Prabhupada's teaching us is to become fearless. So while I've been at the manor, I've even took part in some of the dramas, and yeah, that stage fright never stops. It gets a little bit easier, but it's one that I'm not scared to do things now. And even though I make mistakes, just keep tapping those cartels. So yeah, I'm just going to do the invocation prayer just to seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas assembled here and online, and hopefully I can speak something of value. So yeah, Amagyana Tamandasya Janana Gyana Shlakaya Chaksu Amyamli Tam Yena Tasme Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobistam Satitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sva Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padam Kalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajaitam Sahagana Raghunatha Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parajana Sahatitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagapate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namustute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamani Hari Priye Vanchakau Prabhyobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavnabhyebhyo Vaishnavebhyo No Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Wow. I'll quickly get the internet was a bit slow, but we're going to be reading from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, for verse 27. The most confidential knowledge. I can't remember if I mentioned in my last class, but I don't know if any of you know this, but the Bhagavad Gita is mentioned. It's said to be like a jewelry box, and the first chapters are seen as like the side of the jewelry box, and then the ones at the end are the sides, and then one's the roof of the box, and then the middle chapters are the treasure. So yeah, the Bhagavad Gita is set out in a way that it excites you at the start, like a war and with mention of Krishna and everything, but the actual essence of the Bhagavad Gita really, it's all the good stuff's in the middle. So we're going to read from the middle. Oh, yeah, it's been very slow. I'll go ahead anyway. If anyone's got Vedabase on the phone, you can go on there, but because it might be tricky to recite the shloka. So yeah, normally we'll do a call and response, but I think with it not being on there, I will just say the shloka and then do the word for word. Yat karoshi yadanashi yajjahosi tadasi yat tapasyasi kunteya tat kureshva mad arpanam. Yat, whatever, karoshi, you do, yat, whatever, ashnasi, you eat, yat, whatever, jahosi, you offer, dadasi, you give away, yat, whatever, tapasyasi, austerities you perform, kuntaya, O son of Kunti, tat, that, kureshva, do, mat, unto me, apanam, as an offering. So whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. Whoa, powerful. I'll read it one more time. It's so beautiful. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. And I'll read the purport. Purport is obviously by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thus, it is the duty of everyone to mould his life in such a way that he will not forget Krishna in any circumstance. Everyone has to work for maintenance of his body and soul together, and Krishna recommends herein that one should work for him. Everyone has to eat something to live. Therefore, he should accept the remnants of foodstuffs offered to Krishna. Any civilized man has to perform some religious, ritualistic ceremonies. Therefore, Krishna recommends, do it for me. And this is called archana. Everyone has a tendency to give something in charity. Krishna says, give it to me. And this means that all surplus money accumulated should be utilized in furthering the Krishna consciousness movement. Nowadays, people are very much inclined to the meditational process, which is not practical in this age. But if anyone gives meditation, if anyone practices meditating on Krishna 24 hours a day by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra round his beads, he is surely the greatest meditator and the greatest yogi, as substantiated in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So firstly, I just want to mention that I did have some notes, but I've been doing the Bhakti Sastri course, and today we had a little ceremony for our graduation. So I've been at the Manor since November. I've been doing the Bhakti Sastri course since January, and yeah, we've done it. We've stuck it through, and so I've just literally come down here. So yeah, I feel a bit rushed, but it's Krishna. I feel it's all going to work out anyway. So while learning this, while doing this course, we studied the Bhagavad Gita, and it's set out in a way that we're starting to understand the one where we're at in our Krishna conscious life, because not all of us might not have the ability to live in the manor, or to distribute books, or go on Sankirtan. But he's saying at the start, just do it for me. So you could even do charitable gifts. Do you know what I mean? You can, you don't have to you can come to the temple as much as you can do, but you can start off by just doing something charitable for maybe for where you live, for the temple, for whoever it may be. So this is one of the first steps of bhakti. So if you can't do the tapasya, if you can't do these austerities, at least do something charitable and do it for Krishna. And I think it's the verse before, actually. Yeah, the text before, text 26. I think this stands out to me, actually. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. And I think for me, before Krishna consciousness, I thought like this, to get Krishna's attention, I would have to do something a lot more difficult, but to just offer a flower or water, he'll accept it. So after doing charity, we can do karma kanda. So that means we're starting. Some people might pray to certain demigods or something like that for like help. They might turn to God for a material wealth. Like they might need financial support. They might do it for help with studying. There's many forms of prayer. So that's like one of the first things we'll do in the journey of coming to Bhakti. Gosh, I get lost in kids are amazing. Hare Krishna. So that's karma kanda. Karma kanda, where we start to inquire into God for support, but we're doing it for ourselves. The next thing would be karma yoga, and that's where we start to be a bit more selfless in what we do. We're starting to realise that there is a higher force at work here, and then we may look into more of the scriptures. So then there's charitable acts. Our work and everything starts to become service. So work could be a 9 to 5 where we're doing it for the money to help support our family and everything, but we can also offer those results to Krishna, so we can dovetail what we do. And then so that's karma yoga. And then eventually there's the steps of yoga, and I can't remember them specifically, but I remember that the one before Bhakti yoga is Ashtanga yoga, and this is where we see a lot of meditations these days that are trying to get out there, of like these impersonal meditations. But in this age of Kali, the liberations that are given from Ashtanga yoga are very hard to acquire, because we're very much in a fallen state. For example, we have a very chatty mind. I think the analogy is, it's like a riddle. It was, what is as numerous as blades of grass, and what is as fast as, I think, light or sound. And it's basically pointing at the mind. The mind is as numerous as there are blades of grass. It's one thought to another, and it is as quick as light or as sound. So it's constantly thought. And these impersonal meditations are saying that they should focus on this stillness, and that is Krishna, this is God, or this energy. But to even get to that point, it takes a long time. But all these meditations, they culminate in Bhakti Yoga. So the highest form of consciousness, and just for reference, the lowest form of consciousness is say like worms and things like that. That all they do is eat. That all their focus is food. That's all they're interested in. And then the top level of consciousness, well, the one before actually, is that realizing that Krishna's there, that there is a God. You become God realized. But then the final consciousness is that you're a servant of God. And then when you start to read about Krishna and how loving he is, there's also different relationships we can have with Krishna. This is why I've done the Bhakti Sastra course, and why I've been at the Manor, because I've wanted to understand Krishna more and the philosophy, because it's out of everything I've studied and I've looked at, Bhakti Yoga and this Krishna conscious philosophy and everything has stood out because it's personal. So it's saying that it's saying that God isn't just this energy, he has form. And it really hit home to me because I've tried a Vipassana, for example. It's a 10-day silent meditation retreat. And yes, it was nice, but I couldn't maintain it after I left. And I've forgotten who said, but God is the sun and bonum. He's the highest good. Everything emanates from him. Love, everything comes from him. The demigods, everything emanates from Krishna. And so in that sense, he and Radharani, they're both role models. They are the highest role models. There's no one that, if you want to be the perfect husband or how to bring up a child, there's all these pastimes of Krishna and Radharani. So they are the original templates almost. They, like, if you want to strive and trying to live like someone, this is why we read about Krishna. So yeah, this personalism is what Krishna is, what Bhakti Yoga is, and it's kept me here because I'm a person, and I live on a planet with people. I'm not energy. There might be energy within that's running everything, but all of you aren't balls of energy, are you? Or however energy it might not be a ball, it could be a square. But we can't relate to that. We can't relate to energy. I can't try and follow in the footsteps of energy. There's no reference there. But then with Bhakti Yoga and with Krishna, he's a person, and and I was reading, what was I reading? I forgot the name of the book now, but it's about truth, and that we have to understand that we may say that Krishna, he has a body, but we can't. It's nothing like what we know. We have to be honest with that it's not a human body. He might have arms and legs and things, but we still can't comprehend. But I don't fully comprehend Krishna. There's a lot of things I don't comprehend, but because my life has changed, and like even my parents, they're coming down Sunday. They're coming down this Sunday now, because they had my family, yeah, I've had a lot of influence by music a lot of my life, and because the Beatles had, or George Harrison more specifically, they had a thing with the Hare Krishnas. They're coming down now. So, yeah, I don't understand a lot of what I've studied really, but it's getting there. I'm seeing, for the first time, I'm starting to see envy within me and how to deal with it. I've learned about lust, anger. So, and I'd say when I first started chanting, actually, I felt there was things I felt, but still I've not. I see Krishna here, but it's still like I can't get my head around that. That's non-different, and the Maha Mantra is non-different to Krishna. Like, I get it, but I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I don't. It's not like. Yeah, because that's God. That's God. Like this altar, that's Krishna, Radharani, Lakshman, that's Rama, that's Sita, Hanuman, Gauranitai, the Shimadev, like, that's all God. And I think for my background as well, of I got baptised, and at school we had school hymns, and there was a bit of time going to church, but as far as God was concerned, is Jesus. That was my only connection really to God. And then with the personal meditations I did, I can't say that was God. It was nice and relaxing, but yeah, the things that have happened to me have been because of having an interest in God. And like the Bhagavad Gita, when I first read it, actually, I remember, it really caught me, but there was some things that I was just like, I thought they were a bit triggering. I was like, oh, you can't say that now, or that's not right. But that's just, it's my lack, my insufficient knowledge, my imperfect senses. So, just because this doesn't understand that, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's just I'm in that pursuit of trying to understand, and there's been so many improvements in my life that I've got to accept all of this, even though I don't understand God and Krishna. But definitely what I have noticed, like with this, like whatever you do it for Krishna, is that the sentiments that I'm doing it for Krishna, and I've noticed in little things that I've done that he's been reciprocating. We've been doing, do you all know what Sankirtan is? So recently we've been part of the Bhakti Sastri. We had a challenge to go on Sankirtan. So for an amount of time you go, you travel, you stay like at a local temple, and you give out books and do Harinam and everything like that. And I've been learning from doing that I'm not the doer. Like I can't Shri Radha Gokulananda ki Shri Lakshman Hanuman Lakshman Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki. Jai. Oh, Gaura Thai ki. Oh gosh. One day I'll get it right. Yeah, so I'm doing these things for Krishna. I'm for Prabhupada, like, fair play to Prabhupada. Like, I was saying this on the streets actually, that I was meeting a lot of people from India, like Indian bodies and stuff, and I'm white and I'm practicing your culture and your history, like I'm doing that. So it wasn't for Prabhupada, like, yeah, I don't know what I'll be doing, and it's so beautiful and rich. Like, you've got a beautiful country and history, and I've not been there yet, but I can't wait. and I think that's another thing of, like, when I first came into Krishna consciousness, actually, when I moved down to Reading, the way I got accepted into the houses of these families, you don't get that. Like, I've seen it with my my families and stuff, that even birthdays and Christmases, they're celebrated in a card we get in the post now, and it really feels. Yeah, I feel like you're part. Well, it's like a family, and I'm not judged like. So yeah, despite what I've done, despite what I look like, I've been welcomed, and that's the beauty of this Bhakti Yoga. We're not. It's what Prabhupada emphasizes it, and I understand why, that we're not the body, we're the soul. And even if I don't understand that in its entirety, what it speaks to me is that. Even on a mundane level, we're all human. We're all human, and I think even if you don't understand what the soul is, being human is a step forward. Oh. Oh. And this makes me feel like that's all I want, is for, like, people to get on. I'm so insignificant. I'm just a speck, but I love, like, so much, and I want, like, I just see, like, when we've been doing this Sankirtan of just this sadness and this separation in the West. We're just wandering around with no goal. That love isn't there. We've been led down this wrong path, but this is why this needs to be in schools, it needs to be everywhere. And it's even, I think Lord Chaitanya, he says that we'll all,